Hi, if you find yourself in a situation where somebody's broken the door window on your beloved vehicle, just like here, we will go through the video of showing you how to replace it. Hopefully it will go without a hitch and it will be done in about an hour. We'll give it a try, see how it works. This one is a 2007 Audi A4 Avant. I believe this procedure is very similar on everything from 2003 to like 2010 or so, but you might want to look it up. The unique part about this is that, unlike in many other vehicles, what you do is you take out the whole frame and then you replace the window. And in my opinion, it's an easier task than trying to fit your window into the door frame like it works on most other models. So we'll give it a shot. Okay, well, first thing you probably start with, or at least in my case, it would be a good idea to start with checking on the replacement window. There have been many cases where you get a part and it's broken or doesn't fit. So start by opening this before taking anything else off on the car. And hopefully it's the one that fits. Well, it looks like it might do. So we'll start by taking all of the plastic off and cleaning out the vehicle. Okay, passenger door. There's an opening right here under the handle. Phillips screwdriver. Probably a longish one needs to go in there. Find where the Phillips screw is. Then there's one screw underneath here, and then there are a few screws under here, under the trim. If I'm not mistaken, 4 here, but I'll show that later. One here, one here. We'll see if there's anything else. The 2 Phillips screws. This one, I don't know if you can see it well. This one came from here, the longer one, the bottom. Now it's time to take this piece off. I can't find my plastic tools, so I'll use this contraption to not damage anything. Okay, have to pull it out that way. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 Phillips screws. Okay, all 4 are the same size. Try to pull the plastic pieces out of the door. If this hasn't been done for a while, it might be somewhat difficult, so have to be very careful with doing it not to break anything. Okay, I had to do a pretty firm motion on this one. Had to pull it pretty hard, but it came off. And so we'll see if we can disconnect the top here. It has to go up. Okay, so far so good. Okay, so once we take the outer piece off, we have a lock mechanism to disconnect and some wiring. So the lock, well, the cable, this comes out here, and the hook gets unhooked. We're good on that part. Then disconnect all the wiring. So there's a light there, the speaker, and the motor for the window. All of those need to be disconnected, and then there's a sensor here as well that needs to be disconnected as well. Okay, an item I didn't mention but should be done. Here's the battery. There's normally a plastic over there, and there are also some windshield wipers usually in there, but the installation of that mechanism we'll show later. But yeah, disconnect the battery, because you're dealing with some electrical connections, so it's always a good idea to do the disconnect. And it is a 10mm wrench that's needed. Okay, one intricacy here in this connector. What you do is you move this
orange piece down, you pulled it out, disconnected.
Next piece is the sensor, Torx, have the window motor, Torx, and then you have the speaker, Torx screws, all of them. So it's good to have a set. All of the Torx bits here, all of the Torx screws are T25. More vacuuming, there's more glass in there. Okay, next part is the this material, this shield. It's glued in, you don't want to damage it, so be very careful. If you need to warm up the adhesive part here, do that, but be very careful, you don't want to tear it to pieces. I'm in a cold climate, so I'll warm up the adhesive and see if it's easier then. Okay, the foam is finally off. It took much longer than anticipated, just because in some places it tried to rip. It should probably be repaired once you put it back, but it's off. Here we go. A few more things that need to come off. It is this plastic needs to come off so you can disconnect the mirror, and the reason for that is because once you do these screws, there is one down here, then here, and wherever that is over here. This whole frame comes out, and you also need to undo the weather stripping here at the bottom. Okay, this needs to come off too, so you can get to the mirror. This is for the mirror to come off. These are T30 screws. Onto the screws for the window frame itself. The bottom ones, these are T22. The bigger ones, T45. Okay, one more critical item. This is for the mechanism itself. As you can see, there are small tabs here. These need to go in, so try to push the tabs in. Two hands are better than one. So basically you squish the tabs in and push them. These blue protrusions in. Plastic, be careful, don't break them. Okay, it looks like I missed a couple more bolts. One's here, one more is here. This is Torx 45. This is a different kind of Torx. I don't know if you can see it. It's a CR. So in essence it has many more points, like 12 points. Okay, slight correction. This bolt did not need to come out, but there is a rubber piece that comes out of here, and there's a bolt in here that does need to come out. Okay, now the next part is the weather seal. The rubber part needs to come disconnected. It's in there with plastic bits. Again, careful removement is needed. Ideally you do it with some plastic tools, so I'll go find some and do it. Okay, one more thing that needs to be taken out is this rubbery part. If it's not disconnected, you can't take the frame out. So I'll give it a shot. I'll try to get the frame out now. Okay, one more thing. Cable for the mirror is, I'll try to make sure I capture it, is attached here. It's the plastic is in here in the frame. I guess I'm focusing on the wrong thing here, but so that plastic needs to be taken out for the frame to come out too. Okay, the frame is out. This is the outside part. Here are the connection points for the glass. You can see the broken glass pieces still in there. There's another one. I will push this down a little bit so I can put the new glass in. Hopefully it fits. And then on this part here, that's the I guess I can't get a good there is this part that the white disc
it's loose. So when you're pushing anything back and forth, the cable is moving. You have to make sure this thing doesn't jump out. This is where the electric motor goes in.
So just heads up on that. When you're pushing this down, hold on to the white ring so it doesn't jump out. Okay, it's getting later in the day. It's taken way more than an hour. So basically everything goes back. Well, we'll keep on showing the progress. Okay, new day, back to to what should have taken no more than an hour. One of the items, again, let me show you what it is. These are the plastics that hold the weather seal in place. Auto trim removal tools are good to remove them. We are here in like mid 40s right now, temperature wise, and they become brittle. If you have a chance, and I should have done that before, is order them in advance. Replacements are not expensive. You can find them pretty much anywhere online. Just get a set. Worthwhile, because and what do you do with a broken one, right? You have to go back and replace it. So okay, on to that. I'll try to warm them up and see if that helps. Yeah, I'm trying to fit them back into the weather seal. Not that easy. Maybe works and maybe it doesn't. Not meant to be reused, I don't think. Definitely will have to come back and replace them. So the next logical step would be to put this shield back in place. And I don't know if I captured the video yesterday on taking it off. You have to be very careful with the adhesive here. You don't want to rip it apart. It is a good thing to have in place because of the noise and also weather shielding. Now we're firmly back installing things back to where they came from, if one can only remember where they were. And one of my favorites. This is the most important part, arguably, in the vehicle. Good sound system. Here's actually a tab that helps with things. So you put the tab in and the speaker sits in place. Not the most professional way, but it does work. Most of the time, at least. So I have two tabs. One is for the speaker to get back in, and then the other one is for the window regulator. And this is the one with a funny orange tab here. So open it up, and you have to kind of keep on closing it as you push it in. Have to catch the groove properly, and then we have to make sure things are actually fitting where they need to. And actually, before you do this, you have to make sure that the weather seal is in place, and that's what I neglected to do, and so I'll be doing it now. One small bit, this trim piece in here on the side, the tab goes under here, and so if you install this piece before the plastic trim, you'll take it off, just like I just did. So, lessons learned. Okay, I think all the trim pieces are in. Back to reassembly. Okay, it works. Okay, it looks like most things are back in place. One thing I didn't show, worthwhile remembering, is before you tighten down the trim, all the trim here, make sure you reconnect the cable. That is a pretty important thing. Other than that, seems like everything is in place. It does work. I think I've done an okay job in cleaning out the glass. Makes some noise, so there's still some glass somewhere. That's it for the glass reinstall. Obviously, clean off all the stickers, clean the glass. Still has to be tinted. Either do it ourselves or take it to professionals to do it. Now that the work on the door glass is done, some conclusions, some lessons learned before starting. Find all the bolts for the trim piece, the door card. The driver's door and the passenger door is not always the same. Definitely make sure you find all of them and take them out before taking the trim piece off. I know I had to find a bolt that was hiding. Good experience. Enjoyed the challenge. Then the door seal, the bottom part of the seal that comes out of the door and comes off with the frame, it has plastic clips in there. And yes, use the trim tool to take those out, or use needle nose pliers, but the plastic will probably break. I would recommend ordering those pieces, and I think they're called door seal retaining clips online. A lot of options there, not an issue, just order them in advance. And you don't have to try to save the broken ones, because I have helpers here. Yeah, trim tool, good thing to use on everything. The next thing, big thing, vacuum. A lot of glass everywhere, not only at the bottom of the door, but on everything. So that goes back to reassembling. Make sure that the guides where the window's sliding up and down, it's like a felt type material there. Not just vacuum, definitely vacuum it. Make sure there are no pieces left, or not even a little bit, not even a dusting of glass, because otherwise the glass will, your door glass will make noise going up and down the guides. Not something you want to be listening to every time you open the window. Position the glass and the guides. I had the pleasure of taking the door frame out again, because I didn't position the glass properly in the guides in the front. Luckily didn't break it, but yeah, something to make sure you do properly. Yeah. Trim piece by the window. Actually, the front corner of the window, right by the mirror, there's a small plastic piece. It does have a tab that gets covered by the door card. So that piece needs to go in first. Unless you want to practice taking the door card or the door trim out a couple of times. Good exercise, but probably not called for. Sound and weather membrane that goes in the door, don't skip it. Don't put it back in. If it's ripped, tape it. Definitely worth it. Your Audi deserves it. You deserve it. It keeps the interior of the car quiet and enjoyable. The cable to the door handle, interior door handle, also needs to be connected, obviously, before the door card goes back on. Again, unless you want to keep on practicing taking that door card off a few times. You want to install and connect the cable and make sure it actually, test it, make sure it works properly, make sure the cable is clipped in properly, it doesn't jump out. So, worth it. Retaining clips that are in the door card and also on the weather strip or weather seal. Definitely make sure you align them before you try to force them back in place. If you don't align them properly, it's easy enough to break them. So that was lessons learned on installing the door window. Good luck, have fun, and save some money. Okay, and now you can enjoy your beautiful car. Well, if you like this, subscribe to the channel, do the notifications. If you have any questions, feel free to write in comments. I'll try to read and possibly respond. Thank you.